Happy Monday, my friends. Welcome to Better Off Read for March 14th, 2022. And we got some good books for you guys today. Probably could have done that better and Dr. Seussed it, but I didn't. Meanwhile, though, let me bring my friends out. So let's get the guys out here because you don't want to really just see me. So we're going to start off first with co-host here, Vyking Comics. Vyking, how's it going, brother?
What's up, man? How's everybody doing?
Good. Let's get our boy Philly Phil in here, co-host as well. Phil, how's it going, my man?
What up, fam? How's everyone doing tonight?
Pretty good. How about you?
All is good in the hood. No complaints ever.
Very much so. Yeah, it's been a heck of a week. I mean, obviously, there's been lots of, we all spoke and we got to see each other last time. We talked Batman like crazy. And we got to have a lot of other conversations since. But there's been last week was a pretty busy week in comics. And, it was definitely in indies. But I have to say as well, it was a pretty big heat week in Marvel. There was a lot of books that came out Marvel-wise last week that were fairly decent as well, too. So I spent a lot more than I planned last week. Like last week, I had planned on A, and I walked out with C, D, E, F, and G. So, it was pretty rough. I don't know about you guys.
Oh,
yeah. I'll agree. And I splurge in a few Marvel titles as well. Punisher, usually, if it's not Daredevil, I'll pay attention and tune into Punisher. So one cover to start a series is never enough. So I gotta. I think the other cover I got with that is not. It's either the B or the C. I didn't get crazy and get no 1 in 1 billions or anything, but I got that one.
Good read, dude.
Yeah, very, very much enjoyed it for the first issue for sure. I did not get that, but
fan, and I thoroughly enjoyed that read because I didn't need to know anything except for Frank's family got killed, and then they were just like this whole other made up story. I was like, cool.
Yeah.
Man.
I did get one of those on like somewhat accident. Second print.
Yep,
I got one of those as well. Not get that. That's a super cool. That's a Nakayama, right?
Yeah, and you know me.
Yeah.
So every Nakayama I got to get, and Spider-Gwen too.
For sure.
Love
I got
Star
that.
Wars.
I'm actually going to try to read Star Wars from that Han Solo and Chewbacca series. That's a rad cover.
I thought it was a rad cover. That's the whole reason I got it. Me and Vyking have had this problem since the beginning.
Yeah. Big Strange Academy guy.
Yep. And I thought this was a cool cover. I just liked the God of Hammers cover. I thought it was cool. And I liked this Women of Marvel character, one with the bunny ears with X-23, but one of them is her claw. I thought that
that's super cool.
And I don't do Marvel, but man, I did that. Inja, what's up, sister? How you doing?
Queen Inja in the house.
But what else did you grab, man?
Well, I got one of those Women in Marvel, the Merca and Delpho. I think that was the A cover. I believe.
Oh, Sweet Paprika?
No.
Yes. Or was that a variant?
You talking about Sweet Paprika or you talking about Women of Marvel?
Women in Marvel. Merca and Delpho did a cover.
Oh. I didn't know that.
I didn't even know it, and I pre-ordered it, and then I didn't see that it was her until I grabbed the book, and I was like, oh, it's Merca and Delpho. Super awesome. Because I like Andolfo. She's on my list of current favorites for the last couple of years. She's super awesome artist.
Yeah, I love her.
She's really, really nice too. She was at C2E2. She's a really, really nice person.
I've heard she's really sweet and just an awesome person to meet and stuff. So that's super cool.
Always super busy. Every time I want to get something signed, she has her hours for signing because the rest of the time she's just doing commissions for people.
That's cool.
It's really cool. I've seen oh yeah, nice.
Oh, last week though. New Masters.
Oh yeah.
Phil, what'd you do, Phil? You jumped out. Yeah, you did. You did something. I didn't do it. I wasn't even touching the computer. New Masters came out. That was
New
a good
Masters. One. Hell yes.
Primos. Hell yeah.
Yep. You're doing it all for me. I can just sit here and enjoy.
Little Monsters.
The Lemire variant.
Yep. Keep your hands above the keyboard there, Phil. Hands above the keyboard. Somebody might look at this. I don't know. Never heard of it.
Yeah.
Probably trash.
Yeah, you might as well send it my way. King of Spies, King of Spies.
And nobody, I think, saw this. This is just a random one at my my LCS. The Wrong Earth, trapped on a teen planet. You know,
That's by what publisher is that?
This is Comics Ahoy.
Ahoy, yeah. Okay.
Ahoy.
Right on.
Heard of Comics Ahoy.
So, yeah. What's up, Ruben? How you doing, man? Good to see you, brother.
Brother
All right, so that being the case, we should probably get into some reviews, right? So, I mean, that's why, and nobody else really comes to hang out with us anymore. So,
not anymore.
No, not anymore. So, let's get to it. Vyking, can you pull up the slideshow, my friend?
Yeah. Hold on.
Might need to load for a second. While we're doing
for those that are here, appreciate you showing up.
Phil, which different books did you get for me this week? Which ones that were different that you got?
Oh, you mean the only other Phil in the room besides yourself?
Yeah, wasn't talking to me.
Shite. So I'm trying to go off the top of my head because my stack, I can see them in the horizon over there. Let me see here. Crapola.
I think we got pretty much the same things.
Yeah, for the most part. I don't. God, my memory blows. Oh, Hit Me #1, which I know you got.
Oh yeah, I didn't even put that up, but yeah, I'm reviewing this. So that doesn't count.
Radiant Red, which I know Zach may cover or something. Yeah. You already showed Primo's New Masters, Monkey Meat, Last Flight Out, issue 5. I think it's one more to go, and then that's over.
Yes.
And you showed King of Spies, and the Punisher, and the Women of Marvel. So yeah, we basically got almost matching pulls. How cute!
Nice. Oh, we matched. Cute. We
It
coordinated.
Is.
We coordinated before we came in here, folks. This is what happens.
Sorry for
Hey, what's up, HKYFE 420? How we doing?
Queen Sheena is in the building. She's a big supporter that we all have love for, because without her, no one else would show up. So thanks to Sheena.
Honestly, that's why nobody else is here but her right now. Everybody else just, they're kind of like,
pops in, says, yeah.
But we're getting everything loaded right now. Just give it one moment. But in the meantime, as far as things go, like for this weekend, it's going to be kind of a quiet one. Did anybody see the Atom Project?
I've been
wanting to see that.
No, but my friends that watch it said that they thoroughly enjoyed it, and it was not like a normal Ryan Reynolds movie.
Really?
Yeah, they said it was like more of a serious kind of tone.
Cool.
But they said it was really cool. It was a really good watch. So I'm maybe going to get around to it sooner than later.
Awesome.
I'm not seeing this option. Upload this.
And where you click on share, and then you should be able to from slides.
Okay. Hold on here.
There we go.
But we have St. Patty's Day this Thursday. I don't,
I'm not Irish, so I don't St. Patty's Day very much.
Well, so it's like I have like Irish heritage, like not like my parents or like my grandparents are from the land of Ireland, so like I don't get all heavy with it. But when you're younger and in your young 20s and whatnot, you go all out. And I work, I'll come home, there'll be corned beef in the crock pot, and I'll have a Guinness or two, and that'll be my St. Patrick's Day.
I can find that's totally normal.
Nothing wrong with that.
No, and it's by choice. There's a bar down the street from my house, but I'm not 23 anymore, and I don't like days like that. To me, are people are like out to prove that they can drink, and it's like I can do that tonight. Yes, I can do that right now. Yeah,
I can agree with that. Well, without further ado, let's get into our first review. So, that being the case, up first, Hit Me by AWA Upshot. So, yes, I'm an AWA Upshot fan.
No.
I do. Actually, the first thing that attracted me to them was a comic called Casual Fling. That was the first time I'd ever read AWA. And so it was my first time really being exposed to comics that had nothing to do with superheroes and no capes, things of that nature. And it was a tremendous read. And then I saw a preview for Hit Me in my most recent my most recent read from AWA Upshot, called Out. And when I read this, at the end of it, it's kind of 90s nostalgia. So it's got that 90s vibe. It is about a sex worker, and she is the main character, but she's not just, the traditional wham bam thank you ma'am kind of situation. This is called Hit Me because she specializes in guys that like to be extremely rough. She likes to be in the situation where she gets hit. And in those relationships. So she is covered in bruises. It's not an easy thing for her to, go through what she has gone through in these books. And I can tell you for a fact, let's see here. Whoops, sorry, my bad. It was just the cover. I can tell you for a fact in this, the feel for it starts off kind of just as noir storytelling. Like I said, it's a 90s vibe. She's wearing lots of gothy black leather. She's got her short haircut. She's got her protector, but she can really take care of herself. However, she walks in on one of her Johns getting stuck up, and he gets blown away.
No.
She comes to find out that this John is actually holding a ton of diamonds. And so the guy that jumped in there, her protector, her bouncer of sorts, got shot in the leg. So she's trying to get him out of there. She's got the diamonds. They're on the run. They're going to a tailor to get sewn up. And that's kind of where things leave off. I really enjoyed it. It's a lot of fun. It's a very different story, but the art was great. It's not too dark. It's fairly simple. It's very sexy. It's a lot of fun, and I have zero complaints. This is going to be the second issue. They're visiting a very naughty nurse, mean nurse, who is much more of a sadist than anyone. But yeah, it's a pretty cool read. I felt a lot of LA Confidential. I enjoyed it. It totally had that 90s nostalgia vibe to it. It has a tremendous just allure. I don't know. It was just a fun read. I enjoyed it 100%. On a scale of 1 to 5, I would give it a solid 3.9 or 4. It's really close. It's really close to a solid 4, but I need to see where it goes. Because the cool thing is too, it's easy to lure you in issue 1. Issue 1s can always show lots of great promise. I'm not entirely familiar with Krista Faust, but I'm interested. So I want to see where this goes, and we'll see.
Yeah. I think she's kind of a newer writer, I thought, because I'd never heard of her before. And I mean, even just art alone, this Jeff DeCall cover is enough to draw anybody in to be like, what is that about?
Agreed.
Yeah. Covers are...
you can see her calling card on there. I don't know if you can see it, but it's her hand with a red handprint on her butt. So yeah. I think she used to be like a reporter. She did lots of stories on sex workers, BDSM, but she didn't want it to be another one of those, lightweight kind of 50 Shades of Grey kinds of situations. She wanted to get a little bit more visceral with it. So, yeah, that was her in here. All right, Philly Phil,
sir,
you, my friend, are up next. Oh, sorry, Viking, I forgot you're running. My bad, bro. You go.
You're good.
So, needless to say, Jeff Lemire had a #1 drop last week. So, of course, that's going to be my book I review. Little Monsters by Image Comics. That is the cover A. And just because, of course, the simp I am, I had to get the variant cover as well.
It's the Lemire cover.
It's the Lemire himself cover. So, his art, hate it or love it. I love it. So,
classic.
I liked it.
Absolutely. Good issue 1. Kind of to summarize it, on the cover, if you count them, there's 8 characters on the cover A, and you get introduced to each in issue 1 by name, and it just kind of picks up in the land that you get the post like apocalyptic, like end of the world event just happened, and these little monsters, to their knowledge, are the only living things left on the planet. Everything's run down. You got 2 of the characters hanging out on a highway bridge that is like cracked in half, and the one guy's just strumming the geet while his friend is just listening to him play. You got a couple other kids playing capture the flag, a couple other kids jumping off of like apartment buildings. One's teasing the like that kind of vibes. It's just like what else to do when there's nothing to do. And majority of the interior, which is by Dustin Nguyen. This is like a can't miss team with Lemire and Nguyen. But he does the interiors and the main cover. And it's kind of like a dark, not really darker, but there's not so much color in the panels. It's really kind of a black and white-ish kind of book. The only thing that really appears in color is what we are portraying to be is the red sun or red moon. Through the first issue, I'm going to assume it's the moon because we get introduced to these characters, and you just kind of quickly learn that they are of the vampire breed. So they can only hang out at nighttime, and then once they feel that red hot sun coming up, it's time to go into like to a rundown movie theater. It's kind of like where they all stay, to hide out during the daytime. The issue ends not abruptly, but while everyone's kind of rounding up, they're kind of like I guess you'd call them like a troop, the little monsters. They're all kind of, they ride or die together. They're getting ready to round everyone up to make their way back to take shelter, to sleep off the day. Or in their case, sleep off the night, and there's just one of them missing, and he's out. And one of the only few other colors you see is one of the characters is it looks kind of like he's down in like a subway, and he's just like got some chalk, and he's just like the artistic one, and he's just doodling on the walls and having a good old time. And he sometimes you get the vibes that he loses track of time. Can't be out in the sun when you're a vampire, or else bye skin. So the one of the guys goes and tries to find him. And that's when the book kind of comes to an abrupt end, and it leaves you on a cliffhanger. So if you read issue 1, I feel like just the very ending in itself will key you into issue 2. I will be non-biased. I'm going to give this, although I'm going to keep reading, I'll read the entirety of this. I'm going to give it a 3.5. It's I think it's a fair score. I know it's not for all, especially the Lemire and Wint, but I feel like if you've liked any of their previous stuff they've done together, which they've done a handful of stuff together, this is gonna be right on par. Like for an issue 1, it was a quick read. There wasn't maybe like 2 or 3 ad pages, wasn't anything crazy, but it was just it was more of a visual for first issue than it was so much dialogue and like actual reading bubbles and content. But I mean, like I said, based on the last couple of pages and especially the last page itself, issue 2 is a must if you've read issue 1, because you got to see like, okay, what? But yes, as we all know, I think anything that Jeff Lemire does is pretty much Bible. So I'm going to keep up with this. I recommend it. I just don't want to tell you it's a 4.5, because I was going to say 4, but I went against my better judgment and said 3.5, which is still a good number, but maybe my 3.5, you're thinking, well, I gotta check this out because Philly Phil is always like, in the corner doing whatever he wants with Jeff Lemire. So this has got to be something I gotta check out now, like hit or miss, and it's gonna sway you in a way you're gonna be like, man, this book was dope. So maybe a little reverse psychology with my 3.5, but I really enjoyed it. And I look forward to issue 2. It was, like I said, it's fun, quick, fun read. Moves, the book itself just bam, 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 moves quick. But it seems like they have enough. They introduced 8 characters, so it seems like there is just enough characters that we already know of through issue 1 to build a nice, decent series around going forward. So I'm excited for it.
Nice.
I also gave that a read as well. I thought it was okay. it's their team ups are always they're good, but they're not for everybody. They can be hit or miss for even people that are used to Lemire and Wen working together. So I'd like to see where this goes. I don't know. I'll probably keep reading it. So
same.
Anywho, I guess it's my turn. So it's time for Radiant Red. You guys know this Radiant Red book? This is a Tom Whalen cover, by the way. This is beautiful.
Mm-hmm.
There's the 1 in 25 as well, because I can never help myself sometimes. Anywho, Radiant Red. This is a 5-issue little miniseries. Takes place within the Radiant Black universe, obviously with the name. If you're unfamiliar with Radiant Red, she is a middle school teacher named Satomi. Her husband has a terrible gambling problem that he's trying to get over, and she first used her powers to rob banks because he spent all of their money, which is not cool. So this basically just dives a little bit more into her backstory and a situation that she has gotten herself into inadvertently just by being Radiant Red, and people kind of know who she is. So it's like one of those stories where it's like an ex-criminal doesn't want to do that one last job, but there's something they're dangling over their head to make them do one last job. So essentially that's the gist of it. But this also just packs in tons of beautiful artwork and a lot of writing. For like a regular sized book, there is a ton of dialogue in this book. And the artwork is beautiful too. This is obviously Kyle Higgins created it. But there was a lot of people working on this book. Cherish Chen, I believe, is the main writer for this one. And then who is the main artist on this one? I believe it's Muerto is the artist. But they seem like a pretty good team. I've never read anything from Chen, so this seemed like a good start. And I love this, connected universe that they're doing with Radiant Black. So it was definitely an easy pickup for me. So I'd honestly probably give this as just, it's going to sound totally biased because I love this universe, but I would probably give this like a 3.75. I'll get a little harsher with my grades. It was a good start, and I really feel like this is going to be like a 4.5, 5 score towards the end of it, because I feel like it's going to be a pretty good story. It's something that you've heard before, but it's done with, different characters and different means and powers. So I love it. So
nice.
Give it like a 3.75. And just to sprinkle in my score for Little Monsters, that was a solid 3 for me. It was so
yeah, I would kind of agree. Actually, it's been a interesting week of conservative reviews on the show. Go figure. No mods. We're getting back to old habits, guys. We're being crabby.
The Three Amigos.
Yeah. Plus, Nomos, if the viewers don't know, is also an online retailer. So if you want to order books, you can go to nomasscomics.com.
Yep.
He doesn't pay me to do that, but I will request $20 via Apple Pay from him now. Just for
right.
But yeah, he's just, Nomos is busy. We get it. Things happen. So, but yeah, it is kind of like the Three Amigos again. With the sprinkling of guest stars we used to have when we were still on Instagram.
Yeah, keeping it real in that way. No things. Yeah, that it was a good book. I enjoyed it as well. I'm just getting back into the Radiant universe, but the good news is, I was introduced to Radiant Red early in Radiant Black. We knew her then though as just the bank robber, obviously, but she handed out an ass kicking pretty well, and you tend to remember those things. So
also the interesting thing when you're first introduced to her, you don't know it's a chick. It just seems like a dude with a totally different power set too. Yeah. So.
Yeah. I thought we were going Power Rangers and we were just gonna get one of every single color and all the fun stuff. And so it was, but it turned out hella cooler. But no, I feel like Radiant Red has legs. I was a little disappointed in Little Monsters, but just in the meh factor. Because I've become to expect a lot from Lemire lately too. I think that's the problem. We're having such a heyday with our independent writers that we're getting a little, everybody has a bat at bat once in a while. Not everything is a home run. The greatest ball players are not even able to ever hit 5. They're hitting in the 300s. So that's, 7 whiffs for every, out of every 10. So this is pretty good. We're on a good trajectory in my mind. But, and I'm not saying this is a whiff. This might turn into be something tremendous.
Yeah.
But yeah, exactly. And we're getting spoiled.
I feel like writers are just stretching themselves too thin. I feel like if they were to focus 2 or 3 of their books rather than like coming out with like a new short series, like, I don't know. I'm not a professional comic book writer, so I don't know how these guys structure their work days, whether or not they've just plowed through this stuff months beforehand and then they just have it out. But I don't know. It felt really light to me. Like I wanted more meat on that rib,
For sure.
There was like nothing on it, a little bit of meat and some gristle.
No, so I agree 100%. Yeah.
It just wasn't there for me.
Philly Phil, you did read something else though right before the show. We were kind of talking about it. Would you mind telling us a little bit about your read there as well?
Oh yeah, Monkey Meat. I don't have a graphic for that, but he can just hold that.
No, it's okay. I was just going to throw him up himself. He can walk us through it.
Put him on
right on
pedestal.
Yes. Okay. So, in the lieu of Mr. Nomas, I'll just keep this up. But in the lieu of Mr. Nomas not being able to attend tonight, I figured, well, we might have a few extra minutes or so to maybe talk about another issue or two. And I read Monkey Meat last Wednesday when it came out, and then I just reread it like a half an hour to an hour ago. I think this series is super awesome because it is unlike any current series that I have been reading that I can recall in the last, honestly, couple of years. It's labeled an anthology, which I guess it, in most terms it is, but it's really just cool. So it's 3 issues in, and to me, every issue has been awesome. The art and what your eyes are telling you is literally, like I was telling the guys before we went on, it's almost like anime meets Adult Swim, and then they have a tussle with like a Robot Chicken kind of like production. It's super rare. The art is killer. Juni Ba is amazing, and like the littlest things, like you think it's like at the end of the book or the very beginning, you think it's like an ad, but it's an ad for Monkey Meat for this actual book. It's not like an ad for another series that Image has out. It's just super cool. Like each story, obviously within that takes place in this Monkey Meat Island, where they produce monkey meat, and obviously they have made such success off of that production that they also dip into like beverages and supplements, and like that's just stuff like you learn like side stories while you're reading said main book. To me, I think it's only a 5-parter, and I honestly, like, if you're still able to pick them up, if not when you get the trade, I think it's a can't miss story. I think it's like an enjoyable just because it's not like a romance, a good versus evil. I mean, the good versus evil. It's like really relatable to our like society today and how society has been for a very long time with, anything that like these companies can do to like advertise to like for money. Obviously everything's all about money, and just how big corporations are so like conniving and just so like twisted just to make money. But whether they think what they're giving you is going to be good or bad for you, as long as it puts bucks in their pockets, that's all they care about. And this is exactly like what this is like shadowing, like just all about. It's awesome. Like I can't recommend this enough. After the 3rd issue, I was like, dude, this series is dope.
Nice.
Yeah, dude, it's a fun read, man. It's so cool.
Yeah, I'll have to check it out then because I've got the 3rd one right here myself. So the nice thing about anthologies is you don't have to read every single one to get it, but I've got all 3, so I'm looking forward to that. We'll see where it goes. See where it goes.
Recommended for sure. And thanks for the spotlight time because I had to give Monkey Meat its justice.
There we go. So speaking of spotlight time, Viking.
Yeah.
Our top fives. You are up first, correct, sir?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, no, these are just gonna be 5 books I'm really looking forward to. Starting with, and we talked a little bit about this if you tuned in last week about talking about the other big 2 and discussing their books a little bit more. And this is part of like DC horror imprint, Soul Plumber, written by the 3 hosts of Last Podcast on the Left. This is issue 6. This is going to be the final issue in this set. And I'm really looking forward to picking this up so then I can read the rest of them up until that point. So, super excited to see how this wraps up. And I'm excited to just read all of them in just one binge. So,
nice.
Slumber, this looks really cool. It's like this woman essentially infiltrates your dreams to kill nightmares, essentially. But I think she stumbles into one nightmare where there is a serial killer somehow in the dream. Weird premise, but also super interesting. Anything to do with sleep and like supernatural stuff, I'm all about it. So yeah, Slumber #1. Image Comics look really good. Rad Wraith, I think we've talked about this before, and it may have been delayed. I don't know if it's just because of like paper shortages and stuff, but I'm still really looking forward to this Black Caravan imprint. It looks really rad. I mean, it's right in you. So, Bylines and Blood. This series has been really good so far. This is Aftershock, I believe. This is issue 3 coming out this week. Super excited to read it. The story's been phenomenal so far. If you're into like, neo-noir type stories set in like a world kind of like Blade Runner, some cyberpunkish type stuff, this is a good book that you should pick up. Even if you don't want to pick up the back issues, if this comes out in a trade, pick up that trade. I guarantee it's going to be a good read. And then obviously Land of Living Gods #2. Everybody is super hyped for this book, like to the moon. I enjoyed the first issue. I don't know if there's anyone else in the chat that agreed with me though. I did like New Masters #1 better because they gave me more. But the first issue, this was also very interesting because they gave me more like, I guess like cultural information with like the use of slang and stuff like that. I enjoyed that. I want to see more from this series. I know New Masters is just a short series and this is supposed to be some sort of ongoing, but they're going to need more to keep me reading. But even if it doesn't keep me reading, I'm a sucker for trade paperbacks. I'll probably pick that up. So, and that is my, I guess, 5 books I'm really looking forward to. My top 5, if you will.
Nice.
Oh, yeah.
All right. So
next,
Philly Phil, I think you are up next, my friend.
Okay. So, like Zach stated, this isn't a countdown or a better to worse. This is just 5 books of the probably 15 I'm going to get this coming Wednesday that I'm just kind of pulling out of the hat of what I'm getting. And Bylines and Blood, issue 3, like I'm going to reiterate, like Zach just said, this is a really good neo-noir. It's a very fun read. I've recommended it to anyone that I've talked to either on here, IG, DMs, or live. It's a really good Aftershock published book, and I'm very looking forward to this issue. Rain, #3 by Image. It's that Joe Hill. I know some people were skeptical after reading issue 2. It was either like you loved it or you hated it, and I guess I would be put in the love crowd because I thought issue 2 was really good. So I'm very much looking forward to see what issue 3 has to offer us. Next up, Aftershock comes out again with Land of Living Gods, issue 2, and I know I sound like a broken record, but like Zach said, between this and New Masters, when they were both first issues, New Masters gave us a little bit more of dialogue and was just probably the overall better book for between issue 1s. After reading New Masters 2 this past week, I will then see what they give us in this issue 2. Plus, this cover just looks like it could almost be like me as a cosplay. It's kind of weird. But yeah, very excited about this issue. And Slumber issue 1, Image, another #1. Like I'm just going to say it again, like Zach said. It just has to do with this lady who can go into she invades your sleep while you're sleeping. I remember the preview, something like that, and then she battles your nightmares. And I like to sleep. I don't do enough of it, but I would like it when I have those bad dreams for someone to come destroy them. That would be sweet. And before we went live, I was informed that my hypeness for the final issue of Catwoman Lonely City, DC Black Label, is actually not coming out this week. It's been a long time in between the last issue to this one. Regardless, not Brian K. Vaughan, but Cliff Jang, who was on the team that did Paper Girls with Brian K. Vaughan, is on the art on this one too. And I think Jang does he do the whole thing, right?
Yeah, Cliff Chang actually writes and draws it.
Yes. And it's one of those magazine, like the oversized magazine type books, which I'm but to me it just means that like you get everything just a little zoomed in and bigger. The art's been phenomenal. It's a really cool story. You don't need to know anything, whatever, heading into this. So definitely looking forward to this. I'm hoping it's a surprise this Wednesday, but I've been told that I have to wait longer still. But nonetheless, needless to say, when this does come out, I am very much looking forward to that issue as well.
Oh, yeah. No, it's a good series.
It's been very fun.
Despite the fact it's oversized, and I hate those. It's a good series.
It just... I agree. It's... There's no proper way to really store those.
You got to turn your short box sideways and only have 2 rows.
Just wish... I don't know. Yeah, you got to do that, and then when you're getting your books, it just takes... Yeah, I know. You got, other books, and then you got that one oversized book, so they got to put it in like a separate bag or like be a bigger bag.
It's clearly a psyop by DC Comics to sell more magazine size boxes.
Yep.
It's a plot. It's a plot.
Merchandising.
I think somebody got stuck with a bunch of extra Scholastic book size print, paper. They just couldn't figure out what to do with it, and they sold it to fucking DC at discount. And they need to save money wherever the hell they can, so they just
paper
printed
shortage,
it on
man.
that. I think Clifford the Big Red Dog wasn't doing well, and so they just reprinted Batman all over it. So
was that a Warner Brothers movie?
Well, it's on Paramount, so I think.
Oh no, it's not. Nope.
No. Sorry. So
what about you, Phil?
What do I have? Basilisk, the new Basilisk. It probably should have fallen off of our lists the way you think we've been talking about it lately, but I have hopes, my friend. I have high hopes, and my high hopes are that Basilisk will turn its shit around because Cullen Bunn's great, but this series kind of went from Superfly to a bit of ass. So we're going to see. I'm crossing my fingers. We're going to see.
It took that unannounced hiatus,
Unannounced hiatus. Slumber. Friday the 13th meets the Zodiac Killer. Best way to describe it. This woman, she investigates dreams. She's able to go into dreams, and she finds out there's a serial killer existing in dreams, killing people while they sleep. To me, that sounds kind of hella cool. Now, that's also because I am 100% old. So, that being the concept behind it, I remember when the first Friday the 13th came out, and Freddy started sticking his hand up through bathtubs and through bedding and all the weird shit. So
let me just step in here for a second. That's Nightmare on Elm Street. What you're describing, Friday the 13th?
Yeah, Nightmare on Elm Street. Oh, did I say Friday the 13th?
Yeah,
Yeah, sorry, brothers fighting. My bad.
Or maybe like
you get, and again, old. I'm starting to get things confused, and I may have had a few too many Smithwicks before we started the show. So if I start talking a bit more like this, then you guys are going to know I'm really going. So up next, the last book you'll ever read. Talk about from highs to lows of Cullen Bunn. The last book you'll ever read is probably the last book you need to, because it is really good. I mean, I've been blown away by this series. It's been crazy. It's been consistently good crazy. The kind of crazy that you just want to keep on buying every single one of their issues. and I have been pleasantly surprised at every single turn. So, yeah, folks, I'm here for it. This has been wonderful. I 100% heinously recommend this Vault book by Cullen Bunn. Go out, read it. Last book you'll ever read. It's wonderful. Crazy and wonderful. Rad Wraith. It's on my list because I didn't get it last time, and I wondered why didn't I get it last time. And my shopkeeper was just like, Rad Wraith. He's just like, yeah, I don't think I got any of those. I must not have ordered it, Phil. And I was like, damn it. And I got so upset, and I just kind of stomped out. And I remember asking Nomas, hey, Rad Wraith, you getting any? Oh, yeah, it's coming in next week, Phil. I'll get you some. Well, a month later, we find out Rad Wraith is actually coming out from Black Caravan. So, Black Caravan, thank you for being a month late. Well, we've all been waiting for it. So I'm excited to see where this kid who died in a half pipe really goes in the afterlife. So apparently some people pulled a prank, thought it would be awesome to kill a kid in a skate park. And I guess his avenging spirit comes back from the dead to wreak havoc on those who plighted him. Up next, we have Playthings, another Black Caravan title that should have probably come out a month ago. I think it was on Philly Phil's pull list. Black Caravan, we need to have a conversation about your timing. I'm interested in this too. So we're going to see. It looked interesting. So I wanted to kind of give it a shot. Looked kind of cool. So plus the cover just looked really twisted. So I was kind of hoping for big things from it. And that being the case, was that the entire 5? I think it might have been. That was the entire 5. There we go, ladies and gentlemen. All 5 books. There we go.
All 5 books.
So it's a bit of a light week for us here at Better Off Read. It's been kind of quiet because unfortunately we've all been slammed at work today.
Yeah.
At work and over the weekend was crazy. And so we apologize for kind of, Black Caravan gives no F's, sister.
Right.
Ninja, I
So,
see you.
To touch on that, as we talked about before the show, Black Caravan is an imprint of Scout. Scout is a lower key comic book publisher. Like all of their titles are super low print. You can obviously get them through your pre-orders, and then you can also order directly through their website. If you are a Whatnot person, like at least 5 times a week or so, Whatnot Scout, their main Scout has a Whatnot, and they host auctions. So in case you didn't add it to your polls or you missed out on it, that kind of gives you another chance because they'll put some of their, and they'll tell you there's only 900 of these that were in print and whatnot. So it gives you a chance, which I was going to bring up to you guys because my LCS missed out on 2 Scout comics from last week that I just got in the mail today. And I got them. It was badass because they put them up for the $1 and no one else bid on them. So I got 2 comics for $2.
Hey, not bad.
Nice.
So obviously, you pay more for shipping than I did for $2, which whatever. But so this was last week, Broken Eye.
Oh yeah.
And this one was just, I don't know, I feel like it's a young reader maybe, but screw it. It was $1. Zodiac.
Interesting.
Cool.
And because they're super cool, anytime you do their Whatnot and you win whatever book or lot you win, whatever, they have this little wheel they spin, and they send you. I got this. I've never heard of this. Kinjira, Hungry Like a Monster. I literally just flipped through it. It looks like a insane. What's cool about it is it came from their, and they write on it, damage pile. So they couldn't resell because it's got a pretty solid crease right here. So it was just a freebie they threw in.
Nice.
Well, that's cool.
Isn't that
never
a
heard about
monster just trying to go get pizza? Did you read it?
No, it just came in the mail, and I just opened it 20 minutes 41 came on the show.
100%.
Oh, yeah, look at that. You're right. Because look, I just opened it up.
It's about a kaiju trying to go get pizza.
Nice. Dude, I was flipping through it, and some of these pages are just like wild as all hell, dude. Can't beat
That's
free,
insane.
right?
Yeah, the nice thing with Scout as well, they have a lot of their books. They have ash cans and stuff. If you're like a weird ash can, they sell their ash cans straight on their website.
And their metal, like I saw on one of their other whatnots, they had like a just all out metal cover, which is if you're into that, they start them off dirt cheap. So yeah,
Sweet.
it's really cool. It's really cool what they do for sure. They got more love for me now going forward because of how customer service friendly that they are, and they try to make sure you can get stuff if you've missed out on it because it's obviously a smaller publisher. It's not an Image. It's not a Marvel, whatever. So like they're not going to have like 30,000 broken eye copies of issue 1. It's going to be like 1,000.
Exactly.
No,
that's really cool, man. I dig that. 100%.
Yeah, for sure.
100%. Well, guys, I think we may be calling it a little bit early this week. We really appreciate everybody who made it out, but it's
For sure.
we want to be respectful of your time as well, because if anything, sitting here and sitting at us, staring at us isn't going to be any fun for you if we're not doing anything entertaining to talk about. It ran out of books this week. So next week, though, there's some pretty good titles coming out, and I've got a feeling I think Slumber is going to be our group read, considering it was on all of our pull lists.
Yeah.
It just makes too much damn sense to not have that be the group read. So get out there and read it yourselves and let us know what you think, because I think at the end of this, maybe if you can send us some of your thoughts beforehand, we can clip you in on the show for your review and your ideas of that, because it'd be really simple for us to do. So
Hell yeah.
Let us know. Check out Slumber and hit us back. Drop your story, drop it in your story, drop it on Instagram, tag us, and we will share it on the show next week.
Yep.
Let us know what it is. Or actually, not next week, the week after. Sorry. We will make sure we get you guys on our next episode, 100%. So at any rate, let us know what you thought of it. But until then, everybody, let you guys know where you're at.
Yeah, I'm at Vyking Comics, just how it's spelled right there at the bottom, both on Instagram and on Twitter, which I'm hopefully getting more active when hopefully my team doesn't call out for the day and leaves me to work alone. So, yeah. Where are you at, Philly Phil?
Oh, hey, I'm right here. Sorry, I saw a comment get posted, so I was just kind of reacting to that. I am just find me on Instagram at Philly_Phil_. And yeah, like Phil and Zach have said, by all means, DM any of us, tag us, one of us, all of us, whatever. We like to hear your feedback because we just sit here and ramble on the screen, but we would love to hear what you guys all have to say about how good or how bad or how indifferent you are about any titles. It doesn't just have to be Slumber. It can be whatever titles that you are currently reading. We'd love to hear that for sure.
Yep, absolutely. Tag us, let us know. But specifically Slumber in this case, we'd love to hear it, because we would happily do a montage of adding in reviews to that. So check out Slumber, drop a review, and we will add you to that. And I am One True Nerdking. You can find me on Instagram, Twitter, pretty much everywhere, but not much on Facebook, but pretty much everywhere else. And now on Clubhouse. So if you're into podcasting, check it out. Moving there next. So at any rate, thank you guys so much for joining. We've got a lot of announcements and a lot of other things coming on the way. So we can look forward to seeing you guys again soon. So until then, take care.
Thank you, everybody.